Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
So many things I want to get to today. It is Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun on the show today, but we begin with LIARS. The word LIARS, it is the enduring moment from the mayoral debate this morning between 5 different candidates. I think we're up there, but the main event, and I don't know if this is fair that the main event is State Senator Omar Fateh versus incumbent Mayor Jacob Frey. There are, for sure, 2 other candidates who have been in the mix, campaigning big time. There were 3 candidates as a part of this forum today, but I was struck at Omar Fateh calling Jacob Frey a liar. And I wonder if this resonates with people, because we are at a point in our discourse where people are hungry for decisive language when it comes to carving out a difference between your opponent and you. And so you call them a liar, or you call them a Nazi, or you call them a fascist, or you call them a whatever. You're a socialist, you're a communist. We need these labels, it seems, and liar is one that I struggle with, because my definition of liar involves intent. And back when I was a news anchor, people would get mad that we wouldn't call Donald Trump a liar. He's a liar. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I know he's telling something that is not the truth. Is that a lie? Is that obfuscation? Is it? Well, listen to this and tell me, is this what you think the city of Minneapolis needs?
Jacob Frey has been mayor now for nearly 8 years, for 2 terms, all vetoes, full of vetoes, and a more divided government and city than ever before. He lied about banning no-knock warrants, and a mere lock died. He lied about there only being 27 unhoused neighbors, and we know that was not true. He lied about ending homelessness within 5 years. Now there's more unhoused neighbors than when he first took office. He lied when he said he'd stand with our Uber and Lyft drivers, and then he vetoed their bill. He lied when he said he'll support labor and our labor unions, and then he vetoed the Labor Standards Board. And he lied when he said he'll stand up to Donald Trump when he let MPD collaborate with ICE. Those are all lies.
No, they're not. They're not. They are not all lies. That's a lie. You're a liar. Dan and I were talking a little bit earlier today, and part of me thinks that the city of Minneapolis voters, I guess I don't know where voters are, right? Anyone who wants to tell you that I know where the people of Minneapolis are going to vote, you have no idea. I have no idea. As I look at the wider Minnesota national political culture, I do think what I heard today from State Senator Fateh is absolutely not where I think most Minnesotans are at. But it doesn't matter where most Minnesotans are at. It matters where people who live in Minneapolis are. And part of me thinks that in Minneapolis, we should turn the city over to the wackos. Turn it over to the far, far left. Turn it over to the socialists. And let's see what happens. Let's see if it works. And I will eat my hat if I'm wrong. But in this time where we are struggling to get people to come downtown to visit, we are struggling to get people with money to stay in the city, the people who pay the bills, and we're struggling to lift up people who are on the lower end of income, of education, of opportunity. We're not lifting them up either. When I look at our choices, right now, it's a little discouraging, right? Because I do think you can argue that we have not achieved what we had hoped to achieve in Minneapolis or in Minnesota. I also think you have to have a little bit of understanding. Gosh, what happened over the last 8 years? Was there anything that happened between Tim Walz and Jacob Frey's first time elected that might have impacted things more than their leadership? I don't. Oh, COVID. Yes, we had COVID in the middle. I mean, come on. Come on. Now, Omar Fateh wants you to believe that he didn't advocate for defunding the police, which is false. So, I don't know. Are they all liars? Like, is there any point in saying someone's a liar? I think you can say, as a texter says, at worst, those are unfulfilled promises, not lies. Our political discourse reminds me a little bit of what things were like when my kids were like 6 years old. When you're dealing with a 6-year-old and you say, we're going to go to the park, and then something happens and life changes. And if you don't go to the park, your 6-year-old says, well, you're a liar. Why are you lying to me? And this is sort of what we want to reduce our politics down to. I do wonder, and I said this back when the state of Minnesota bailed State Senator Fateh out from his initial proposal for Uber and Lyft drivers. Remember, in this campaign, the state senator is taking credit for, as he should, for being an advocate for drivers. But we never really got to see the consequences of his proposal, right? Because the governor and the state bailed him out and changed the policy and changed the deal. So sometimes I do wonder, like there's that online kind of acronym for if you blank around and find out. Part of me wonders if it would be better for Minnesota to let the leftists and the socialists take over. And you're going to see it playing out in New York City, where the new mayor of New York will almost certainly be a Democratic socialist. Is that the path we should follow here? I don't know. I don't want that path. And also, if we never do it, you are going to have 4 more years of this same argument playing out. It's going to be a left-wing city council majority against a Democrat. Like, I know, like, the leftists want to say that Jacob Frey is conservative. You're like, wow, I guess. Yes, compared to you. But maybe there is. I will be very curious where the voters go. Part of me thinks, like, we should see what would happen. I don't want to see it, but we're going to break. When we come back, and your feedback on all of this, I just have some stuff to talk about today, but you're always welcome in the conversation. 651-461-9226. You don't have to. Maybe you're driving the cab and it's Friday. You know what? You don't have to. I'm doing the heavy lifting for you today on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, this weekend, I want you to taste what pork can do for you. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board, 3,000 family farmers. So grateful for our partnership with the Minnesota Pork Board. And this weekend, where you have a little more time to maybe do some cooking, I want you to get that grill going. It's going to be 80 degrees this weekend. Get that grill going. Let's make some Minnesota pork for dinner this weekend. Pork chops, yes. Now, some of you ask me, like, Jason, why is pork so delicious when I go out to a restaurant, but at home it's dry? The secret is for you at mnpork.com. The secret is cooking to the right temperature. 145 is good enough. It's not chicken. You don't have to go to 165. Now, ground pork, you do have to go to 165, but your Your chops, your tenderloins, $145. Pull it off the grill. Let it sit. Let it rest. Seal in those flavors. Oh, so good. Recipe ideas, too, for you at mmpork.com. Get to that grocery store or butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner this weekend.
Chad back here with you on CCO, talking about Aquarius, AquariusHomeservices.com. Let's talk about what you get when you work with Aquarius with your water. 99% of contaminants, they're removed. Dishes spotless. Your appliances last longer. You know what you don't want? Orange rust stains, funny odor, taste. With Aquarius, get a free water analysis with your home and cabin. Right now, 36 months, 0% financing based on credit approval. Talking about Aquarius.
Hey, sports fans, Postman Law delivers. We've recovered over $3 billion for injured clients. From fender benders to major accidents, our team tackles the tough stuff, letting you focus on recovery. Dial 844-POSTMAN now. Postman delivers speed, ease, and results. Offices, Minneapolis.
If the past few weeks of schoolwork with the kiddos has you exhausted, a night out with great drinks, delicious food, stellar entertainment might be just what you need. A fantastic menu in 3 stages featuring an assortment of exciting entertainment. It's Vanita here. Get over to Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. They've got something for everyone. Returning to the main stage in just a few short weeks, it's White Christmas, an adaptation of the beloved holiday film. This show is perfect for the whole family. Songs like Happy Holiday, White Christmas, and Sisters, so much. On stage October 10th. Get your tickets today. In the Fireside Theater, catch these excellent tribute concerts. I Honestly Love You, a tribute to Olivia Newton-John and Anne Murray. Chase and Ovation, a tribute to Prince. So many more. And don't forget Stevie Ray's Comedy Cabaret, where you can find hilarious interactive improv. Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Visit chanhassendt.com.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
I do think, as always, in a time where maybe we're a little frustrated with some of the results of policies, of things that haven't moved as quickly as we would have hoped, all you got is who the opponents are, right? Like, that's your choice. And within the last hour or so, Star Tribune reporting that the Republicans are ready to step up on the state level, bring forward their greatest candidates, bring forward the future leaders of their party. MyPillow Guy, Mike Lindell. Perfect. Getting closer to declaring he is going to run. Let's go to the phones. Lots of callers ready to go. Lots of text, too. How about Woody in Burnsville? Woody, you're on CCO. Thanks for listening. Go ahead, Woody.
So you got to understand, Jason, you live in Maple Grove. You don't live in Minneapolis. I live in Minneapolis. So I'm stuck with whoever becomes the mayor.
Yeah.
You talk about the left-wing nuts.
Yeah.
You know, we have Ilhan Omar, who's in the Senate in the 5th District. Yeah, that's all we need is another one of her running the city.
What's your fear about State Senator Fateh? What's your concern?
I am very afraid that he is going to try to change everything into Islamic law.
Woody. Woody. So close. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling that's where Woody was going.
One of them was a red flag.
Jet. Well, I guess, like, let me just say, like, come on. Like, believe me, there are plenty of policy things you can go after. But this idea that people who are Muslim are going to bring Islamic law is disgusting, offensive. It is similar to back in the 60s when people didn't want to vote for John Kennedy because they were worried he was going to bring Catholic law to the United States. Give people a little more credit that they can bring policies that are not from their religious faith. Jeff is in Hutchinson. Jeff, you're on CCO. Go ahead. What are you thinking about today, Jeff?
Thanks, Jason, for taking my call. The thing that I've never heard, like one of the things for Walz is that the thing that's hanging around his neck is all the fraud that's been going on with food, autism. What I've never
and more
heard,
today, even more. There is another program that they came out with fraud news about.
So my question is, why don't we find out who was responsible for oversight with these policies? I've never heard that, and Walz seems to be ignoring it. But there's got to be somebody whose job it was to keep track of this, and I've never heard who it was.
So, I mean, obviously, part of the reason that we have kind of difficulties is that there's not enough oversight, right? So we've had all these Medicaid-funded programs that have had fraud. The latest that the state is halting payments in a disability services program. There's an autism services program. There was Feeding Our Future, which was a COVID-related hunger program. I do think that if the Democrats actually had either the Democrats had a real primary or the Republicans, and I think Kristen Robbins is going to be your anti-fraud candidate for the Republican Party. I think she'll need more than that, but it's going to be a campaign about fraud, don't you think? I think that's going to be the main issue of this campaign, as it should be. I think the reality is, though, that unless you have a good opponent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a good opponent against Tim Walz, it just absolutely doesn't matter if you're mad about the fraud. Because who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for Mike Lindell? Is that the realistic option? I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. 651-461-9226. No, says a texter. Please no, I live in Minneapolis. We cannot allow the city to go backwards. We need Frey and some better council members. I do think, like in Minneapolis, you are going to get a true choice. Do you believe that cooperating with business, encouraging people to have jobs, do you think adding to the roles of police officers, do you think that is a priority? Or do you think, totally redoing the way we do public safety is a priority right now? I suppose when I look at the things that I think are most important in the city of Minneapolis right now, number one is safety. Number two is increasing property values in the tax base, and that means growth. That means new housing. The campaign is really focused on, like, what should be done with housing encampments, and are we being humane enough? I got to be honest, and not to sound uncaring, but that is low on the list of things I'm worried about with the future of Minneapolis. Just it. Homelessness is a really tough issue to solve, but it's a county, it's a state, it's a regional issue, and I don't think any mayor or any city council is going to be able to solve it. So I would like to hear, what's the plan for growth? What's the plan to get the city back on track? That's what I will be more interested in, and I think voters will get a real choice. It's 3:29. We're going to break in just a minute. Dan's going to geek out. Dan has been geeking out, and I had to hear all about this yesterday for about... It was an aggressive conversation, I would say.
It was, yeah. No, I'll cop to that.
And so you get to decide if you want to hear Dan talk about it, so you can greenlight it, or you can gong it. We'll do that when we come back here at Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tureen Dermatology wants to see you, and they want you to come in within 3 weeks. It's Jason here for Tureen Dermatology. My dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen. I love her. I'm in there. I was just there 2 days ago. Amazing people. More than 25 board-certified providers, 9 different locations all over the metro area. Now, I say they want to see you within 3 weeks because that is the Tureen Dermatology difference. If you've tried to get an appointment for a dermatologist, you know you can wait 3 months if you're lucky. I've heard from friends who have been told they have to wait 6 months, 9 months to get an appointment. Tureen Dermatology just opened in Lakeville. They're in Lindstrom. They're in Eagan. They're in Hudson, Wisconsin. And they'll see you within 3 weeks. Awesome. They save room for appointments, for new appointments, so you can get in the door and get your skin taken care of. Full body skin checkup, yes. Eczema, don't just suffer. Acne, yeah, my teenagers both saw Tureen Dermatology and it turned their situation around. Reach out to the best. Make your appointment online. Do it at Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
Win or lose, loving the Twins is just part of being a Minnesota.
Off the facing of the second deck, Royce Lewis rings the bell.
And every game, I mean the ups and the downs, maybe next year.
Byron Buxton, out of here, ties it up 1-1.
All those moments, they all happen here.
Wallner has done it. Wallner's first career grand slam.
Your home for Minnesota Twins baseball.
2-run shot for Trevor Larnach.
News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10,000, $50,000, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I've been turning wrenches for nearly 20 years. And for the longest time, it was chaos. Communication was spotty, PMs got missed, downtime skyrocketed, and accountability practically impossible. Then we switched to MaintainX. Total game changer. Now the whole operation runs through the MaintainX app. Work orders, safety procedures, parts inventory. I manage it all in one place with real-time updates. No more delays, no more surprises.
MaintainX helps maintenance teams run smarter, faster, and more efficiently. Thousands of frontline teams trust MaintainX to maximize uptime, cut costs, and stay audit ready. Start your free trial at maintainx.com. That's maintain and the letter X.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Problems northwest corner of the metro, traveling south 169, the ramp to County Road 81. We got an accident at the very end of the ramp The left lane is blocked right now, periodic closings of the ramp itself. Right now, it looks like the right 2 lanes are open, so you are able to use the ramp, at least at this point. If you're going to be traveling along 94 eastbound, got a stalled motorcycle off the left side. Over on the East Metro, North 35E near Larpenteur, crash in the final stages of being cleared. Trey Peterson, News Talk HBO, WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
We are in the middle of a stretch of DeRusha delight days. Oh, yes, some places have their top 10 weather day. We call it a DeRusha delight. Tonight, low is 61. Tomorrow, 75. Sunday, 77. Monday, 84. Sunny, clear, delightful. Can't name them all top 10 weather days, Channel 4, you bunch of cowards. Weather brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan at 77 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha
I would rather have a root canal with no Novocaine.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Start the clock. Dan Cook now has 3 minutes to geek out on something. And you get to text in with a vote on whether it's halfway interesting or if the topic should never again be brought up in public. Again. Nerd alert! Let's set things up for this edition of Dan Geeks Out.
All right, Dan Geeks Out. It's been a bit since we brought you the Dan Geeks Out segment. Today is the day. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am excited because this particular topic fills me with joy, and I think that'll come through to the people.
Okay,
and they will support me in my joy.
So people have an option here. They can give you the gong if they wish. There's a little.
There we go. There's the gong.
Or
gong had a little problem getting going there, but
it did. The gong. I keep wanting to buy an actual an actual gong.
Sure.
For the studio. And yeah, that's the green light. So you have your option at 651-461-9226.
Send us a text as I get going here.
You green light or you gong. And Dan was talking about this topic yesterday, and we thought, well, you should for sure continue that right here.
Right, because what I've discovered, Jason, is I've discovered the joy of. You want to not play that in the middle of the thing? I got to start my 3 minutes over.
Oh, I didn't start your
Come
timer,
on.
you little whiner. My God. All right, go ahead.
I've discovered the joy, Jason, of watching someone else discover a movie that I love and adore. I didn't realize that was a thing, but that's actually a thing. And it's even a bigger thing now that you have this little thing we like to call the internet, right? What am I talking about? I stumbled upon this, first of all, on TikTok, and you're playing some of it here on the screen right now if you're watching on YouTube. But it's a gal, she lives in Ohio. I think she's millennial-ish age, but she had never seen Star Wars before. She was too old to get into the prequels when those came out, but young enough where she didn't grow up in the Star Wars lore like I did. And she discovered, she filmed a reaction video to watching the first Star Wars, having never seen it before, and the video went viral. People loved it. Star Wars started sending her swag. It was a whole thing. So she just dove into the Star Wars canon and started watching all the movies and making videos and doing the thing. And she's now moved on to Lord of the Rings. And when she got to Lord of the Rings, instead of just watching it by herself and filming the reaction video and then editing that up, she actually started doing live streams on YouTube so that there became this audience that would watch along with her as she was discovering this film.
So she is sitting here.
Yeah. And you'll notice she's got the mirror up on the shelf over her right shoulder. So you can see a little bit of the film because, copyright issues. You can see a little bit of where she's at in the movie. And you can hear it in the background a little bit. Here, I can play for the folks that are just on the radio. I can play a little clip that I pulled from this is when she was watching Two Towers.
This is Dan Cook talking to us about watching someone watch a movie.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about this movie. I don't know anything about this movie, but I do know that Gandalf did not get killed off. He did not. Okay, guys, wait for Gimli. We are all moving a little too fast for my dwarf.
Come, Jimmy! We're gaining on them! I wish you on cross country! We dwarves are natural sprinters!
This is
Okay.
651
back, baby. We're back. We're
461
live. We are ready.
9226.
Oh, God, get Mary and Pippin.
Green light
So she's-
or
Wait,
gong.
I potted on the wrong thing. I potted, no, so this is you literally are sitting there watching this person watch this movie and react to it. But the best part is, these are movies that I've watched dozens and dozens and dozens of times, love these movies, know them, sadly almost by heart. And so when the spots are coming where there's supposed to be a reaction.
Right.
And she gives you great reactions to this thing because she gets into it. And it's my friend told me once that the best part about having kids was rediscovering things that you took for granted in the world through the kid's eyes.
That's with your own kid,
right?
Not with.
But this is again, it's a stranger. I don't know this person at all, but she's hilarious and does these great videos. And it's so much fun watching somebody discover and love these movies that I love. I can't believe you people are gonging my joy. What's the matter with you? It's Friday. Have some fun.
Oh, you just got a ding. I love watching 80s and 90s movies with my teenagers.
It's very much that same thing. But
gong, please.
Now you have this whole internet audience, right? Because there's a whole group of people in there in the chat, and most of the chatters are fans of the movie and know what's coming. No spoilers, right? But we're reacting to her reactions, and it becomes this whole thing. It's just like this whole community watching this film together online with this person who's reacting to it so joyfully.
Are people watching this film because it's enjoyable to watch someone enjoy watching a movie? Or is it, as I'm looking at this stream of this young woman named Rose?
Yes.
Is it possible that you bunch of perverts are just watching this cute woman?
Look, just because you're a twisted old man does not mean the rest of us are constantly judging people on their appearance. Yes, she's an attractive young woman. I mean, that doesn't hurt anything, but that's not what draws you in. What draws you in is her reaction to the movie.
Gong, I'd rather hear an air horn in my ears.
Oh my gosh. What's the matter with you people? This is so much fun. It was so much.
So
now,
how long is this movie?
Well, I mean, the one so she did Return of the King the other night, and that's close to 2.5, 3 hours somewhere, and that's a long movie.
So you sat there for 3 hours watching Rose from the internet watch a movie?
Not only did I sit there for 3 hours, I actually, because she started at the live stream at about 6 o'clock. Well, we get done at 6. And she does a whole preamble about.
Was this the day that you were like, I gotta
get out of here. I gotta go home because I knew this was happening and I wanted to see this. So I hustled and I got home as she was starting the film. So it worked out perfectly. And yes, I sat there the whole time and had a blast. It was so much fun. It was so much fun watching somebody discover something and love something that you already love.
Now there you make it sound nice.
Because it is. It's great.
I mean,
it's great. Look, I'll grant you this. The first time I
certainly see the attraction.
Stop it. What's the matter with you? So the first time that I sat there and watched, I'm literally thinking to myself the whole time, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching this, because I understand the description of the idea seeming slightly preposterous, but I'm telling you, the experience was thoroughly entertaining. Well, I enjoyed it so much.
We just got an I'm with Dan.
There we go.
Another texter says Jason is being extremely rude.
Well, I mean,
Gong. This is why Dan is single. Gong times 3, says another texter. Maybe with your own kids, but not some random person. That's just weird.
I'm telling you. It was so entertaining and so much fun. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Dan, the people spoke?
Yeah, they did.
The people spoke?
Yeah, they did. And they're wrong. The people get to be wrong. That's fine. But they're wrong.
Sorry, Dan, I'm usually with you. Not today. Not my kids, not my nieces, not my nephews. Nobody wants.
I have a 22-year-old nephew. I believe he's 22. And one of the enduring bonds that I have with this young man is he was at the perfect age when the Star Wars prequels came out. He was the kid that those films were absolutely aimed at. And the fact that he knew that Uncle Dan loved Star Wars and he loved Star Wars bonded us at his young age. We still to this day talk not only Star Wars, he's a big Harry Potter fan. He's a big fan of a lot of different films. We talk movies all the time because that's a bond that he and I have. And what I'm trying to tell you people is that it's not just the bonds of family that you can do that with. You can find community out there with a whole bunch of people you don't even know because you just happen to all love this same thing. Man, people are cynical.
You did your best.
I did what I could.
Dan Geeks Out, semi-regular Friday feature. Thank you all for being voices of reason with the text. I'm a little nervous about our next topic because you guys are pretty prudish. You know, our audience is pretty prudish. But I definitely was, well, my attention was caught by a headline that says, "Your cubicle or mine, why Gen Zs are, you know, in public spaces." What is going on? And this is my ask of you. It's 651-461-9226. These are anonymous texts. Weirdest place you've ever, Drive Time back in a minute on a Friday.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
We should, Dan, can you call Chris Lindell up right now and we'll ask him this question for our next topic? Do you think Lindell wants to participate in that segment? I don't know. I mean, he is the arms out real estate guy. So I don't know. None of my business. It's Jason here. Don't ask Chris. Well, you know what? You ask Chris Lindell whatever you want. Chris would prefer if you reached out to him and maybe ask questions about how he could sell your home quickly, how he could get you to closing within 2 days, how you don't have to make any repairs or you don't even have to empty all your crap out of the house. But if you want to ask him about our next topic, Chris and I have talked about a lot of things. I don't know that has ever come up. Guaranteed cash offer. You see the billboards. You know the guy. He's a Minnesotan. He's my friend. He is generous. He is kind. He is Chris Lindell. If you want to call and ask these questions, that's 763-401-SOLD. If you would like to go online and maybe submit your question in a little box there, that's up to you. ChrisLindell.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Frontotemporal degeneration, or FTD, causes uncharacteristic personality changes, apathy, and unexplained struggles with decision-making, movement, speaking, or language comprehension. It is often misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder, depression, and sometimes just a midlife crisis. Learn more this World FTD Awareness Week by visiting the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration at theaftd.org. Find help, share hope. Go now to theaftd.org.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO Radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me.
Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. You're going to find a crash that's been cleared out of the way. South 169 to County Road 81. All lanes are opened up. North 169, got your heavy stuff there. Bren Road heading up to Highway 55. West 94 slowing through Minneapolis as move in from Riverside. But the good news is that construction work's been lifted. Left lanes are wide open now. I-94 both directions between 280 and 35W. And 35W northbound East 94 ramp is open. Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Flint Hills Resources, Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemount. You see it as you drive by. Did you know they're celebrating 70 years of producing fuels that help move us forward? To learn more, go to pinebendrefinery.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, tonight it is going to be mainly clear, low of 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 76. Sunday, 80. Right now, it is 77 degrees. We're in the middle of a beautiful stretch of fall weather. All of the reporting on Gen Z is that they don't go out, they don't drink, and they're not having sex. So I was surprised at The Guardian today with the headline, "Your Cubicle or Mine." Your cubicle or mine, why Gen Zers are having sex in public places. Now, I would like to hear from you guys at 651-461-9226. Because I'm a believer that the public place bit is a better idea in theory than in reality. Now, if you guys text and tell me yours, I will tell you mine. It's almost 4:00 on a Sunday. I'm sure my wife isn't listening to this nonsense. In this story, which is based on a survey of 2,000 adults, 22% of these 18 to 24-year-olds say they have had relations in public bathrooms. 18% say cars. So the issue is these 18 to 24-year-olds are living with their parents. So the national average, according to this survey, of the number of times that people do it is 68. Now, who's counting? Who's counting this up? It's so strange. But the Gen Zers, the 18 to 24-year-olds, are averaging just 35 times a year, which, I don't know, when I was in that age, I think I was having relations. What is the proper way to talk about getting it on a 50,000 watt AM radio blowtorch. I don't know. Yes. And a texter just said sex talk on WCCO is like listening to your grandparents. Sexy talk. Now, the public bathroom. So, well, I was going to say that I can't imagine ever getting it going in a public bathroom. But I did try once with my wife at, and I'd like to give a shout out to the old Tattersall Distilling in Northeast Minneapolis, where Alyssa and I were there, and then a knock on the door. Thwarted. Textures, Jason, some dumb kids at my kid's high school decided to opt for the school elevator? Oh my gosh. Texter says 50-yard line of a football field at night. That is like out of a movie. That is wonderful. Texter says the balcony in a church. Ugh. That is a no. That's a no for me. All right, well, enough of you texted. I can tell you now the time in public for me. Maybe Taylor Rivera wants to jump in on this topic. Gen Zers doing it in public, it seems, Taylor, because they live at home, and so that's you gotta get it on somewhere.
You can't get a hotel room?
Not if you're 18 to 24 and broke. 22% said they've done it in a public bathroom, 18% in a car. No, a car is a classic. Like
a public bathroom, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, generally speaking, public bathrooms, I don't even want to go to the bathroom in a public bathroom.
That's rock bottom, in my opinion.
At a golf course on the shores of Lake Minnetonka. That's mine.
More power to you, Jason.
Talk about a hole in one. I don't know. Sorry. I would like to apologize. The white curtain at the Metrodome.
Where are these confessions coming from?
Yeah. Now, a texter did give the correct answer based on the legendary Newlywed Game version of this question, where Bob Eubanks asked the strangest place you've ever made whoopee. And the answer was more anatomical than geographical. Uh-huh.
Glad I walked in for this conversation.
Yeah. You don't want to confess your moment, Taylor?
And next time we'll talk about that.
Oh, we still got 15 seconds. That's plenty of time for most guys I know to finish this story.
Play me out, Dan.
The way body moves, babe, it drives me insane.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your news when you want, how you want. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Wendy Gillette. ICE has made a high-profile arrest in Iowa. CBS News correspondent Lana Zach.
The Des Moines area is reeling following news that public school superintendent Ian Roberts has been arrested by ICE for overstaying a student visa issued in 1999. In a targeted action today, law enforcement attempted to stop Roberts, who fled in a school vehicle. According to agents, Roberts possessed a loaded weapon, a criminal offense for someone without legal status in the U.S. Roberts has a long history of employment in New York, Baltimore, and D.C. schools, becoming superintendent of Des Moines in 2023.
The Department of Homeland Security says protesters swarmed gates at an ICE facility near Chicago, leading to 2 arrests. CBS News Chicago reporter Darius Johnson was there.
What we have been seeing right here, now that fencing is up, whenever protesters touch the fence, that's when they are being hit with those chemical agents by the agents who are on the roof. We've even seen one protester who is continuously showing his backside, mooning the agents, and then being hit.
National Guard troops will deploy in Memphis next week as part of President Trump's crime crackdown. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee.
The National Guard will play a critical support role to local law enforcement here in Memphis.
The Supreme Court is keeping President Trump's funding freeze in place that threatens billions in foreign aid. The president is celebrating the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey.
This is about justice. He lied. He lied a lot.
The president posted online Justice in America. CBS News legal analyst Caroline Polisi.
You can bet your bottom dollar that the first motion Comey and his attorneys will be making is one for a selective and vindictive prosecution. And they've got the evidence there in the form of that Truth Social tweet.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu got a mixed reaction while addressing the UN General Assembly, with some delegates cheering and others walking out. CBS's Holly Williams on what he said.
He brought up the loudspeakers, the massive loudspeakers that Israel had ranged around Gaza, and his message to the hostages was that we have not forgotten you. He said that his speech was being streamed live to cell phones in Gaza, and his message to Hamas was to lay down your arms, let my people go.
An autopsy finds the man angry at the NFL who killed 4 inside the league's New York office building had CTE. Dr. Ann McKee directs the CTE Center at Boston University.
The longer you play football at any level, and that's high school, college, as well as pros, increases your risk for CTE.
The markets ended the day with gains. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Hey, Card DeSharks is coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're playing for a gift card at Jester Concept, so I need callers. I need 2 contestants, 651-461-9226. Car DeSharks right after Taylor Rivera brings
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Clear. 75 at 4:03. I'm Taylor Rivera. This hour's top story, a spirited but civil debate this morning among the candidates for mayor of Minneapolis.
The 5 candidates sat at a single table, but it was clear the debate was centered on incumbent Mayor Jacob Frey and State Senator Omar Fateh. They sat side by side, right in the middle, and Fateh continuously hammered away at what he called Frey's 2 terms of failure.
The main issue we have is that we have a mayor that created a toxic situation with city council and with communities by implying that if you're pro police accountability, you're anti-public safety, and that's flat out wrong.
Frey questions Fateh's claim that city council has been fair to him.
If the city council has always been fair to me, then we all have a lot of work to be done. We need a civility in political discourse. We need to be able to talk to each other with respect.
The candidates provided positions on public safety, with Frey suggesting an assault weapons ban. Fateh was critical of the mayor's approach to homeless encampments, calling the clearing out of those areas inhumane. Al Shock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Police in Maplewood are investigating a fatal hit-and-run crash involving a pedestrian.
It happened around 4:30 this morning in the 2300 block of Maryland Avenue East near Lakewood Drive. Police found a 31-year-old male in the roadway who appeared to have been struck by a vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say a witness reported seeing a large conversion van with a ladder rack near the victim before it fled. They've since obtained nearby surveillance video which captured the incident and a possible vehicle involved. State Patrol is assisting Maplewood in the investigation. They're asking anybody with information to contact them. Steve Simpson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minneapolis hotels surged past the $14 million revenue mark last week, setting an all-time record. The city was selling out last weekend with a staggering 63,000 occupied hotel rooms. Downtown Council President Adam Dunnick says it's a good sign of recovery post-pandemic.
These are real significant achievements. I think that that's a good sign for the direction the city's going.
The uptick was mainly fueled by a packed calendar of major events, including the Minnesota Vikings, Twins, and Lynx games, and the high-profile Farm Aid 40 concert. Finally, a major festival is back underway this weekend in Northeast Minneapolis.
Fulton's Oktoberfest returns both today and tomorrow at the production site in Northeast. And new this year, the festival will incorporate its annual Grand Fondo bike ride into tomorrow's Oktoberfest celebration, with the bike ride taking cyclists 150 or 24 miles. This year, the bike ride benefits Free Bikes for Kids, which is a nonprofit that refurbishes used bikes, pairs them with a brand new helmet, and connects them with a kid in need. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Some slowing for West 94 as you move between Hemlock Lane, heading up toward Highway 101, 10 westbound. Got your congestion as you make way toward Anson Boulevard, and 494 eastbound flowing very nicely as you come away from Highway 52, heading over to Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Let's take a look at the forecast with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer, brought to you by Moderna.
Our stunning weather rolls on. We'll keep it clear tonight, falling back to 61. Plenty of sunshine both weekend days. Now, tomorrow's the cooler one with a high around 76. That's still about 7 degrees above average. We warm it up again on Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 80. We'll climb into the low 80s and stay dry early next week.
Right now, it's 75 degrees on News Talk 830 WCCO.
One tap, one take, and boom, you're on the air. Come on, record a voice message on the Odyssey app, and you might just hear yourself.
Good afternoon. Just a couple of points I'd like to make.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
How about this breaking news that just came across? You know the Coldplay couple? Remember the Coldplay concert? The CEO with his arms around the gal. It became such a big deal. They both lost their jobs, I think. People magazine is arguing they weren't having an affair. It was inappropriate, but they weren't like having a little something. How about that?
Okay.
If true, does it matter? Yeah, I think so. Like the kids of these people are like probably getting abused for the rest of their life about this bit. Does it matter to you? It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
think it matters. They had a great working relationship, a great friendship. There is no affair, says the source. It was inappropriate to be hugging your boss at a concert, but the scandal, the downfall, the loss of the job, all of that is unfair. I do think the downfall has been unfair. The downfall was largely because people love to like pile on when there's like a viral scandal. We love to attack the main character. And there's no weight to anything in our world today. Everything is full punishment. So someone must pay for this injustice. So that's what happened. Oh, kind of interesting.
I mean, I put a lot more stock to it if it wasn't an unnamed source without any particular evidence whatsoever.
I don't know. Was there any name source indicating otherwise ever? All we had is that moment on video.
And
we just fill in the gaps.
With
that's what we do.
With a story that makes a whole lot more sense than they weren't having an affair, actually.
Well, maybe they were going to have an affair. I mean, I don't know. I tell you what, it'd be a real shame to have all that happen and you didn't even get any action out of the bit.
That's true.
You know, that's the real bummer out of that. It's time to play for $50 at my friend's Jester Concepts restaurant. I was just at PS Steak last night. This weekend, the Borough Block Party. I'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. But let's play Card DeSharks.
DeRusha.
Yes.
He eats.
That's not it. That ain't it. It's going to happen.
Give it a few seconds. Here it comes. There it goes.
The other one's good, too. Here we go. A second summer has come to call, although the calendar says fall, Cal. So keep your shorts on, because you know it won't last. Play Card DeSharks now. It's always a blast on Card DeSharks. So far, no one has lost their job or been accused of an affair because of Card DeSharks. Kristen Olson, thank you for the poem. As always, two contestants on the line. We say hello to Elaine in Brooklyn Park. Hi, Elaine. How are you?
Hi, Jason. I'm good.
Excellent. Are you ready? Are you ready to play? Do you like this weather, 80 degrees, or is it too hot for you?
I'm getting new tomatoes on my vine, so I guess so.
Yes, I noticed that on my tomatoes, too. Little cherry tomatoes popping up again. Very good. Elaine, stand by. You're playing against Kyle in Mound. Hi, Kyle.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm outstanding. How's life in Mound?
The lakes are great, and I love it out there. Yes, yeah. Very nice.
Mound is, I think, an underrated suburb. I would say underrated.
Yeah, there's not a lot of franchises out there, so it's just very peaceful.
Very good. All right, here's how we play. We have surveys. We survey 100 people. I will ask Elaine the first question, and Elaine will give an answer between 0 and 100. And then Kyle will say higher or lower, and then whoever's right, we go to the board. So, Elaine, the first question goes to you. We asked 100 people, do you decorate for Halloween? How many people say, yes, I decorate my home or I decorate my yard for Halloween. It is. I've already seen some of the decorations up. Have you seen anybody decorating yet, Elaine, in Brooklyn Park?
Yeah, there are some, and my son sent me a picture of his 2-story skeleton he put up in Fargo.
Whoa. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish, like, now that the kids are gone, I guess I'm not that interested in decorating. You know what I mean? But I get it. I like it. Looks better than your house being dark. Like, put some lights up and put some scary stuff. I'm into it. Well, what do you think, Elaine? How many people out of 100 say, yeah, I decorate my home or my yard for Halloween?
I'd say 62.
62, says Elaine. Kyle, do you decorate for Halloween?
I don't personally, but the only reason why that is because I live in an apartment, so there's not really much to decorate.
Yeah.
But my birthday is October 30th, so best time of the year.
That's pretty good. Do you dress up? Do you dress up for your birthday, or did you used to when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, there's a party all the time on my birthday, so yeah, I always like to have a good time.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, especially the way people dress up for Halloween now. It's not the same as the way people were doing when I was younger. That is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There might be some bathroom action going on this Halloween, you know what I mean?
I do. Kyle, Elaine said 62 decorate. Do you think it's higher or lower?
I say higher.
All right, Kyle says higher. The actual number of people, and this is a real survey, some of these are fake surveys, but the actual number who say they decorate for Halloween is only 54. Only 54. So it's a little bit lower. That means, Elaine, you get control of the board. Do you want the red cards or the blue cards, Elaine?
I'm going to do blue.
All right, Elaine does the blue cards. You can watch Card DeSharks and see the cards as they come up on our YouTube channel at WCCO Radio, on Facebook, or on X. But Elaine says the blue cards, your opening card is a 3, Elaine. Very nice start. You want to go higher or lower than a 3?
Higher.
All right, higher than a 3. It is a 4. It is higher. And another good card, and you're on a roll. 3 left to go on this 4. You can freeze at any time if you want to preserve your progress, but you're on a 4, Elaine. Higher, lower, or free?
I want to go higher.
All right, higher than a 4. It is higher. It's a 9. And that one's a little tricky. That 9 can be a little tricky. What do you want to do? You can freeze or go higher or lower on the 9. What do you say, Elaine?
I'm going to freeze.
All right, Elaine preserves her progress on that 9, and we go to our second question. That goes to Kyle. Kyle in Mound. Here is your question. We asked 100 bachelors, would knowing you were your girlfriend's second best lover ruin it for you? How much honesty do you want, Kyle? 100 bachelors, would knowing that you're second best, would that ruin it for you? What do you think?
I say 75.
75. 75, says Kyle. The male ego is a fragile thing, like being number 2. Although it depends, like number 2 out of how many, I guess would be my kind of attitude, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, top
50%.
That's right. Top 2 could be great. If you're the first, being number 2 is not so good. So there you go. Elaine, Kyle says 75. What do you think? Higher or lower?
I'm going to say higher.
Elaine says higher. The actual number of bachelors who said knowing they were second best would ruin it will be revealed after the break. Kyle and Elaine in a battle. Card DeSharks, $50. Jester Concepts. We'll tell you about the Borough Block Party in just a minute here on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's Jason here for my friend Chris Lindell and Chris Lindell Real Estate this weekend. As you look at the beautiful warm weather, Chris told me he wants you guys to have a great weekend. He wants you to have a stress-free weekend. And if you have a home, that you need unloading, he wants you to ask for his help. Because the reality is winter is coming. And the number one question people are asking when they call Chris Lindell and reach out to 763-401-SOLD is, Chris, can you sell my home before winter? Because here in Minnesota, we know what winter means. We know the weather turns cold, and so does the housing market. So if you're looking to sell, guaranteed cash offer is booming. You know the deal. You have seen what happens when the economy is uncertain, when interest rates are all over the place, when buyers are picky because the housing supply is limited. Offload the stress. Chris Lindell will get you to closing in as little as 2 days. That is remarkable. You got cash in hand in as little as 2 days. And when it comes to like upgrading stuff in your house, don't worry about it. Chris will handle it. When you're thinking about all the stuff that you have in your basement, years of stuff or mom or dad stuff, a house you're trying to unload, Chris will handle it. All you got to do is make the call and cash the check. Chris is my friend. He's a Minnesotan. He'll take care of you. ChrisLindahl.com is where you go to get that guaranteed cash offer, or call 763-401-SOLD. The terms and conditions may apply.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Financial advice should be holistic and tailored to your life. I'm Ryan Antkowiak, financial advisor with Baird Private Wealth Management and the president of the Financial Planning Association of Minnesota. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning advice for all areas of your life: family, retirement, estate planning, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate with your tax and legal advisors to ensure you have one comprehensive financial plan that makes sense for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
Hey there, cats and kittens. It's Brian from The Commercial Break, the mediocre comedy podcast where my best friend Chrissy and I attempt to make sense of the world. We talk about the absurd, the ridiculous, and the stuff no one asked for, like internet weirdos, pickup artists, and why everyone is obsessed with crystals and colonics. It's all got to stop. The show is free, it's frequent, and it's probably not for everyone. You can go to tcbpodcast.com, subscribe at youtube.com/The Commercial Break, or check out the show wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you on the next commercial break. And best to you.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, great card DeSharks in effect right now. We have two terrific contestants. We thank Jester Concepts for their support. And they would love to see you at the Borough Block Party right in the North Loop. Viva Knievel will be performing live at 8 o'clock tomorrow night in front of Borough. But starting at noon, it's family-friendly, pet-friendly, noon to 10 p.m., live music, food, drinks, lots of fun. It's 730 Washington Avenue North, so check it out. The Borough Block Party will be a blast. I'll be out there tomorrow as well. All right, Card DeSharks, we broke on a real cliffhanger. We asked 100 bachelors, would knowing you were your girlfriend's second best lover ruin it for you? Kyle said 75 said it would ruin it. Elaine said higher. The actual number of men who said it would ruin it for them was 61. It's a little lower.
Liars.
You know what? I think at a certain point, if you're in a relationship, if things are cooking, you're not going to worry that it's all right. Being number two is okay. Kyle, you get control of the cards, so you get your first card on the red, and you start with a queen. Very nice. Higher or lower, Kyle?
Lower.
Lower than a queen? It is. Oh, no, it's an ace. It's an ace. What a raw deal there, Kyle. That's ridiculous. Elaine, you get a free shot. You're on a 9. Nothing to risk here since you froze. So what do you want to do? Higher or lower than the 9?
Can I change it?
Nope, because you didn't get the question right. So you just have to take a guess.
Let's go higher.
Higher than a 9. It is. Whoa, it is higher. Elaine going a little against the odds, and she's got a queen. One card to turn, Elaine, to win the $50. What do you say, higher or lower than a queen?
Lower.
All right. This is for all the marbles. Lower than a queen. It's a 4. Hey! It is lower. And you did it. You did it. How about that? Very good. You got a little bit of a raw deal there, Kyle, running into that ace after a queen. But I'm so glad you listened, and happy early birthday, all right?
Thank you. Have a good day, man.
Very good. Appreciate Kyle and Elaine. Great news for you. You're getting $50. You can go to Burrow or Starling in Edina. Just launched this weekend. They're launching brunch, so you can go check them out. Lots of options for you. But congratulations. Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you so much.
All right. There goes Elaine in Brooklyn Park. Stay on the line. Dan will get your information so we can get you that gift card. Very fun. All right, it's 4:25. We're going to break. In just a minute, Dan Hayes will join us. Twins baseball on the air here at 5 o'clock. This is our last.
It's the last series of the year.
Last series.
3 in Philly against the Phillies, who I think have already clinched a playoff spot. So
yeah,
they're just trying to get their stuff in order to play in the postseason. And then what happens to the Twins after the season's done? Well, lots of question marks.
That's right. We'll talk about some of those question marks. If you have questions you want me to ask Dan, text in 651-461-9226. Drive time back in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Call in.
What got me to call in was
make your point.
The media was in bed with all of them. I don't know who to believe.
Not acceptable.
Be heard.
I don't think it really matters. I think that this is just a talking point.
You're totally off.
You got to take.
Maybe you should educate your citizens.
Yeah, I honestly did not see that one coming.
Heck no.
Don't just listen. Come on, jump in.
I don't want to sound really stupid.
That's my job. Your voice matters here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
AdventNows.com. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you have?
James, you're trying to argue that Dan is more hip than me? Is that what's happening here? I mean, it's possible. In some circles, Dan Cook is hipper than I am. No?
No circles. No circles.
In no circles. Is Taylor hipper than me?
Taylor's hipper than everybody. The only people in the building more hip than Taylor are Remy and Weasel.
Taylor's pretty hip. She's pretty hip. I would say, like, I'm not that far for Taylor. And of course, if you age adjust.
You do have to age adjust.
If you age adjust,
There's a significant gap.
I mean, I don't know. We need to hit it that hard. We're really older than Taylor's dad? Oh my God.
I told you.
All right, I'm turning this microphone off. That's like, I can't.
You could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars. That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class. Local classrooms.
I mean, Dan, I admire James's effort here. But if, first of all, Avatar of Bear Guy, like, let's go with the correct, punctuation here. Like, it's you are, or
You gotta get your "you're" right.
I am far from being hip. I'm like, by the standards of this place, I'm hip, but by no objective standard.
That's not a high bar to clear.
That's careful there, Twinkie. All right, I don't even know. I don't know what's happening.
Not even me.
We're not entertaining. I thought we were just having some fun here, James. Don't need to be a jackass about it.
With a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Got your slowdowns in place. Traveling 694 eastbound, 35E, heading out toward 120. 694 westbound's jammed up as moved between Highway 10 and 252. 10 westbound, that slows as moved past Foley, heading up to Hanson Boulevard. And if you're traveling west 94, some slowing right around Maple Grove as we make way toward Weaver Lake Road, and then again approaching 101. Chef IQ Sense has a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. Chef IQ Probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one knows Twin Cities businesses like locals. With decades of experience here in the Twin Cities, Robert Half connects skilled professionals in finance, technology, admin, and more. Visit roberthalf.com/Twin Cities.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Robert Half. You can visit them at roberthalf.com/Twin Cities. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another clear night tonight, down to 61. Plenty of sunshine this weekend. Our temperatures are going to feel more summer-like. The cooler day tomorrow, 76 with sunshine, 80 on Sunday. Will be partly cloudy Monday and Tuesday with highs climbing up into the 80s. It should stay dry pretty much all week.
Right now, it is 78 and sunny. Beautiful day here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Yes, that was an interesting experiment. It worked to a certain extent. It's arguably gone too far, and we should do everything we can to speed up that train.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twins in their last series of the year. Dan Hayes is with us. Maybe not for the last time, but for one of the last times as well. Dan, thank you for being with us. Kind of a bummer of a Twins season, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really kind of encapsulated. Here we are in Philadelphia to end the season, and we spent, as the media group, half of the day pregame talking to Yohan Duran, Harrison Bader, and we didn't see Max Kepler, but they're all here enjoying themselves and being part of a pennant race, which is exactly where the Twins wanted to be, but they're doing it with the Phillies, and they're excelling and they're excited. And, you know, the Twins are just the Twins aren't going through the motions. The play wouldn't show that, but they certainly are at this point where they didn't expect to be.
When you look at this season, I mean, it's hard not to feel like, I mean, if you ask me to grade it, it's an F. Like, it's a failure of a season, right? Am I being too hard?
No. Look, this team went into the season thinking it could win the division, make the playoffs. And, I mean, that July, especially the first part of the second half where they came out and lost 2 or 3 to Colorado and 2 or 3 to the Dodgers. And I don't remember if they got swept by the Nationals or if it was just 2 to 3, but it was ugly. And right when they needed to make, strides, they fell apart and forced the front office's hand. And anytime you trade 10 players in the span of 4 days, something has gone very wrong.
Right.
So an F is appropriate. Absolutely.
When you look at sort of the big questions as we go into the off season, you wrote about one of those uncertainties, and that is Royce Lewis. He has been a little outspoken in ways that I think maybe has rubbed some fans the wrong way over the last couple of months, but he's got the same frustration that everybody else has, I suppose.
He does, and it comes with the backdrop of him trying to find his way back, essentially, as a player. Because you think about where he was a year ago right now. I don't know if it was a disaster, but it was not good.
Right.
He just couldn't hit for 2 months. And look, there's some parts, he's been around for so long that we think of him sort of as this veteran, but the reality is he had never played 80 games in a season, and his body was wearing it last year. And you've seen him play better late in this season.
Yep.
With his body adjusting. We've seen him active on the bases. He's hitting. His OPS is above 700 for the second half. That's a positive. It should be much better.
Is he having more fun out there? I mean, obviously it's tough when the team is struggling, but he to me seems to be having more fun.
I think that, when the word for him is vibes or aura, and I think it's been definitely positive. You can tell that he recognizes that last year was a growth period and that he benefited from it. He didn't get to show it. I think the thing he's disappointed about is that he was ready. He felt like physically to take a step forward, and then he got hurt in spring training and missed that first part of the season with a hamstring injury. And he came back, and he was not good when he came back. And it's been a weird year, but I do think that generally speaking, I think he's in a good space, and that's a good place for the Twins to be because you don't, it's weird. How do you look at him going forward? We used to look at him as a building block, and is he still that? I don't know. I still think there's a very good player in there, and I think he thinks he can be a building block, but we need to see that. And so, can he stay healthy? It's a big question.
When you look at the offseason, I think fans are asking, about a couple of the pitching studs. Is Pablo Lopez or Joe Ryan? Will they be traded? I think some wonder about Royce Lewis. What's your gut tell you as to whether we'll see any more pieces traded away in the offseason.
Look, I like to ignore logic sometimes. The logic would say, the Twins aren't going to be a great team in the next 2 years. And if that's the case, how do you hang on to Joe Ryan or Pablo Lopez? I think you keep one of them around for sure, because you need someone. You have a young pitching staff that needs to find its way. You need some kind of leadership there. But I don't, if you know that you're not going to be great right away, you can cash in pretty heavy on Joe Ryan right now, this offseason. At the trade deadline, it's good, but in the offseason, teams can figure out how they're going to work around the fact that they just traded 4 players away for like a Joe Ryan. It's a lot easier for teams, and you're working with a bigger market because everybody's in it in the offseason, maybe with the exception of the Colorado Rockies or the White Sox, But I mean, you'll have a bigger market. So part of me thinks, it seems logical, but also then there's that part of me that says, if they trade these guys, what do they have to sell to fans next year?
Right.
It isn't going to be.
The business side of this is real, right? Where already fans, I think, are we had the lowest attendance.
Network.
Yeah.
You have a subscription network. People have to sign up for that stuff. No longer are you just getting that TV check. People have to pay for your TV show.
Yep.
And if
actively,
you don't have something to sell,
every year you got to pony up.
You do. You have to they got to start thinking of this as a TV show. And that makes it harder to, when you look at that Pablo Joe Ryan question. And of course, Royce brought it up. Royce answered honestly about it. Royce did not bring it up. A couple of us have brought it up with him. But it's right. They still have to make changes to their position player side. They did not really touch the position player side, with the exception of trading the Willie Castros and the Baders and the guys that were free agents and leaving anyways. But I mean, Ryan Jeffers has a year left until he's a free agent. Do they think about something there? Or do they think about long-term with him? Royce Lewis is a ways to free agency, but he is actively correct that they have to do something still to kind of shake things up a little bit. It is funny because the position player side has been better. I mean, look, if they're scoring more runs per game, especially since the team started being aggressive on the bases. I believe, they're number 1 in majors in running the bases since August 18th. And that's when Rocco kind of told them to turn it loose. He had more guys to do it with. You've seen Royce look better on the bases. Austin Martin's here. Keyshaw was until he got hurt. But they're the best base running team in baseball since that point. And I think that's kind of led to, it's one of the reasons why there is a little bit of an uptick in offense from pre-trade deadline.
Will Rocco Baldelli be back as manager next year?
I mean, it's the big question. I'll say this. Sometimes people look at it like they need that fresh coat of paint, but what I see, this is not stale. And I've seen that word used a little bit about the Twins in some of the national writers talk about their situation. They lead the league in base running the last 6 weeks. And if you want to see stale, we just saw stale the last 3 days. We saw a team going through the motions in the Rangers. That offense is terrible. And the Twins are running the bases hard. They're still doing things. They have not checked out.
It does. And it does show that, Rocco has other tricks in his bag.
Oh, yeah.
Players
are still engaged. Players are buying into this system. And that is, nobody's talking about the vibe being bad in the clubhouse. And that's talking to every veteran player.
But if you have nothing to sell, nothing to sell in terms of players, does promoting a garden hire from the Saints, does that get some fan excitement? I mean, that's the only part I wonder about. Does it end up being more of the business decision?
And it's funny, you wanted to run the bases. They're running the bases. I'm firmly in the camp of a managerial change is just putting a fresh coat of paint on.
Of course.
It's going to be a bad product.
Because the players are who the players are. I mean,
if you're not going to spend money on players,
of course,
changing the managers is useless. And you got a guy that's here and doing what you want. And I just think that would be honestly a garbage move. But hey, I mean, it's not my team,
right?
And I understand that people, but it isn't going to look. Fans are going to see through that. Right? Look, this all started 2 years ago with a $30 million pay cut.
Yeah.
This all was set in motion, and the plan fell apart. And when you don't have enough forces that, they were missing pieces. There were a lot of good pieces in place, and they should have won this division. I mean, they everything was there, but then you get injuries, you get underperformance, not enough guys take a step forward. There's a lot of stuff going on, and there's no question. You can't look at this and go, this is anything but an F season. But I really think this was set in motion by cutting payroll and just taking away any momentum and any positivity within a month of the best time in Twins recent history after that playoff win.
Dan, do you think if they didn't cut payroll, say they added a little bit, but the result was the same? Wouldn't it be just as bad? Would that extra 30 million or 40 million, because there's no guarantees, wouldn't fans be as irritated?
Well, first of all, they would have come in 2024. The minute you cut payroll like that, you send a terrible message. You went back to the same old team and the same old, you just killed any momentum. You took the win from the sails. And of course, fans aren't going to show up in 2024. Yeah. So who knows, man? That's the thing.
You run the risk. You run the risk if you don't make a move. If you don't cut payroll, at least you have a chance that fans aren't going to be pissed. But by cutting payroll and having the team fail, it's the both. It's the both that causes the reaction, because the gamble could have worked and it didn't.
Right. No, look, it is about risk. And I get it. Believe me, I know how much money has been lost the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And I know what it costs to service that debt that they have. And I do get that they were losing money, and there's reasons why it was put in place. But also, if you wanted to make your business good, you don't do what, the messaging in the last couple of years has not been great.
Correct.
Yeah.
No doubt. Dan Hayes with The Athletic is with us. This is sort of my ridiculous optimist question, but is there an example of a team in Major League Baseball that looked about as dead as the Twins look right now, that did bounce back the next year? Is there any team that's had success where just players kind of hit that lightning in a bottle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. And look, when you go in with, if they kept their starting pitching intact and you went in with this group, you're going to be at least in decent place.
Yeah, you still have a shot.
Compete.
Yeah.
You're going to have to add to the bullpen. But if they're playing this style of baseball on the offensive side, and you're getting some of these performances, it's interesting. Look, if the Twins are scoring 4.5 runs a game next year instead of 4, with the pitching they have, you add a couple guys in that bullpen, and it's really challenging though. I mean, you can see the framework for some optimism. The reality is daunting. I will say that.
Yeah. Dan Hayes at The Athletic. Dan, one final time. I have a gift. I have a gift for you. Here we go.
Let's take the current temp of your Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Save 15% with code word WCCO at checkout now at chefiq.com.
Oh, yes. One more temp of the Twins. And I think today is the day, because how fun was the Byron Buxton show yesterday?
Oh, man, that is hot. That part, I mean, he has been so, you talk about the one thing that has been so much fun to watch. And there's been positivity. Cody Funderburk, Austin Martin, Cody Clemens, Cole Santos has moments. Some of these young pitchers, they've been inconsistent, but Byron has been consistently on fire all year. It's his temperature is well done and awesome. Although I guess I'm more of if I'm having filet mignon, I want a rare cut. So we'll go I don't know where you go with that.
Right.
But
about 135. He's about 135 on the nice filet.
And he is going to get some MVP votes.
Yeah.
It's gone so great in that aspect, and I feel bad because it's lost. He wants to win, but he is doing the one thing he really wanted to do, which is play. Be out there for his teammates, and it's been magic to watch it happen. I'm glad he'll get this environment here where we should have pretty packed crowds over the last 3 days in Philadelphia, because I'm sure that'll up his game even a little bit more. But 2 days in a row with the leadoff home run, both of them just monster shots, and then hitting the 3-run yesterday late.
Yes.
I mean, it's nice to see that life from the Twins where they pitch well and win a series, just because it's been a tough road this last 45 days or whatever it is. But they're still playing hard. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with a little less than lukewarm, because, look, there's just nothing you can do about the bullpen.
Nope. Yeah, you wait. I mean, even yesterday with the nice lead, we're watching the game and just waiting. You're like, oh, no. No.
I would love for somebody to do the numbers. I'm not going to do it, but the numbers in innings 1 through 6.
Right.
The run differential from those.
Yes.
And then 7 through 9, just ignore those.
Dan, I know you would prefer not to be ending the season so soon, but we've loved having you on, and I love reading you at The Athletic. So thank you for taking one more temp of the team.
Absolutely, no problem, guys.
Very nice. All right, we'll see you. Dan Hayes with The Athletic. Twins pregame starts here at 5:00. Joe Ryan on the mound for Minnesota. First pitch at 5:45. Back to wrap up a great week, if I don't say so myself. Drive Time, back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
You look amazing. You look amazing. You love fashion. You love style. You want to be the best dressed guy at the office or out to dinner. You need to go to J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. It's Jason here for My Fashion Connection, my guys. In life, you need to have a guy. You got a problem with your plumbing, you got a guy. You run into some maybe trouble with the law, you got a guy. You should have a guy when it comes to your style, your fashion, your wardrobe. And you can get that experience at J.H. & Sons at the Galleria. The team over there has been selling men's clothes in Minnesota for decades. They know all the fashion. They know all the style. They know all the brands. They know which cut of which clothing is going to look great on your body. Reach out at jhandsons.com. Sign up for their email list, and you'll be the first to know about special events, including next week. They got a big trunk show, all sorts of fashion, all sorts of designs available for you in an exclusive manner in their great store. Now, this weekend, if you get over to the Galleria, if you're near Edina, stop in. The shopping center is beautiful. The store is even better. Enjoy the difference. Enjoy tremendous service. Go tell my guy at J.H. & Sons. Mine is Kevin. Yours might be Bryce or Chuck or Dean. But tell him you heard about it right here on Drive Time.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club.
Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Always find what you love at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price, it's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single barrel bourbon to try. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More.
Beer snow sold in Virginia, North Carolina. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Going to find some slowdowns traveling East 94 as make way between County Road 81 heading up toward Brooklyn Boulevard. West 94, some slowing. Brockton Lane to 101 opens up only to slow again as make way between St. Michael and Albertville. If you're going to be traveling on the east side of the metro, get ready for slowdowns. East 36 as we move past Lake Elmo Avenue heading into Stillwater. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by the Canopy Group. Tonight, mainly clear, low of 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 76. Sunday, same bit. It's going to be 80. As far as I can tell, it is going to be beautiful for the rest of time. Look at the forecast. Through Wednesday, it's in the 80s. Just bonkers. Channel 4 named all of these top 10 weather days. Like every day. Today's the top 10. Tomorrow's the top 10. Sunday's the top 10. Why isn't Tuesday? Why isn't why not? What are we even doing? Back when I worked at Channel 4, they had some integrity over there. There were standards. Words meant something. Do you guys like this music? Yeah, you do. Boom. It's good. We pay a lot of money for these music beds, so I want to run the whole thing. Tonight, the Lynx are sort of in a must-win scenario. Critical game 3 tonight for the Lynx. They lost game 2 with an epic collapse. Really terrible. And so this is the test of a team, right? When you're down, when you lose a game that you shouldn't, are you lost in the emotion of that? Or can you come out tough and get it done? So we'll see. We'll be cheering for the Lynx tonight in action against the Mercury. And that game, when does that game tip off? 8:30. So that's out in Phoenix. The Lynx and the Mercury tied up at 1 game apiece. Busy weekend, lots going on. Oktoberfest all over the place. Yeah, Texture says Augusta Neck was the top 10 Weather Day standard bearer. What happened? Oktoberfest. I'm going to be doing a fundraiser for North Memorial Medical Center, North Memorial Health tomorrow night. So that'll be good. Both of my kids were born at North, and we're doing the fundraiser at International Market Square, where the last time I was at International Market Square to host a fundraiser, I believe Alyssa went into labor. So it's been a while since I've done an event there. It is a strange deal when your wife goes into labor. Well, it's always a strange deal when your wife goes into labor. Because as the dad, you're like, well, like, can I do so? Not a lot of role for me being helpful in that scenario. So she told me just to go ahead and do the fundraiser. It's a good way to get people to pony up. I'm like, my wife is in labor. You cheapskates could get off Wallet Mountain and pony up. Enjoy the Twins broadcast and the weekend. Talk to you Monday.
This is Brian Job with the Job Brothers Construction.